Graham, lovely to see you. Why don't you introduce yourself, what you do, and perhaps your role both in Cambridge and elsewhere.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to be with you. So I'm Graham Beynon. I'm pastor of a church plant in North Cambridge called Grace Church, Cambridge. I've been running 8 years or so, and I'm also on the faculty of Oak Hill College 2 days a week as the director of independent ministry.
Well, it's lovely for you to be with us today. Let me just push you on kind of what you're doing at the moment as a church. What's kind of been your strategy as you've gone through lockdown? How have you gone about things, particularly?
Yeah, well, I guess with most people, it might sound like we've got a clear strategy. It's kind of been made up as we went along a little bit. What we've tried to do is focus on our main Sunday meeting and our small groups. A lot of care stuff and communication with individuals going through the small groups. We've put things online, as a lot of people have, and we've aimed for the more communal end, so interactive meetings on Zoom and so on, rather than just streaming something that people watch. And we've tried to embrace the medium, so not just try and replicate, but what works well. So we've sung less, because I think singing is harder, but it's not that we've not sung. We've preached shorter, but we have preached, of course. We've tried interactive things, like going to people's homes, as it were, in all age talks, kids talks, that sort of thing, to try and develop something of a sense of community, even though we're at distance from each other. So kind of replicating, but modifying to embrace the medium.
Moving as you look forward, because we're all kind of trying to look forward a bit and working out when the government will ease lockdown. But as you do look forward, what are the things you kind of missed about gathering? And what are you most looking forward to when you do get back to getting together on that Sunday morning, when we can be kind of normal again, if you like?
Yeah. Well, I guess one thing people are probably alert to is that it may not be that day will come, yeah. But that may not be the first day we get together, because it might be we get together but we're socially distancing or something.
Yeah.
And so we might have a really weird interim, which in a sense could even be weirder than now, because we understand what this is. We haven't experienced that yet. So anyway, but jumping beyond the transition phase into a true normal, as it were, I'm looking forward to so many things. I'm looking forward to singing with other people in the room. I'm pretty passionate about corporate worship. I've got a terrible voice, and so singing with others is a joy, both for me, but also just the corporateness of it, the hearing of each other, the seeing of each other in it. People have different views on Lord's Supper and so on. We've decided not to have Lord's Supper while we're scattered in this way. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward just to there are these very intangible things. Well, it's funny I use the word intangible. Intangible in the sense that they're hard to put your finger on, but tangible because it's all about being embodied. That we see each other, are aware of each other's presence around us. Everything from noise, body language, vision, all the combination of all of that, all feeds into what it means to be a group. And this is true of any group. It's true at the rugby club as well as at the church. But this is part of how God has made us and how he's made community. And so while online stuff mimics lots of things, it loses lots of those tangible intangibles. And so, if that makes sense. I'm really looking forward to recapturing and experiencing that again. And that's everything from the concreteness of giving somebody a hug to the vagueness of I'm just aware of people sitting around me as I listen to God's words. So you can pinpoint very specific things, and there are less tangible things, but they're very real nonetheless. Yeah. And we lament the loss of those. I'm looking forward to that.
That's really helpful. Thank you. Last question. As you do look forward to that kind of the real getting back together before the after transition. What do you think you've learnt during this period that you might therefore change what you did previously? What are those lessons that you think we have learnt through this lockdown period?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we're still reflecting. It's still early days. Some initial thoughts. There are some things you can do reasonably online that we've discovered. Oh, actually, that worked. So, just for sheer convenience, might that be helpful? I had an elders meeting this morning at 7:30, and none of us had to travel anywhere. We just got online for an hour before some of the other guys started work. That was, might we carry on doing that? Now, with things like that, you've got to be careful, because some of these we are basically living off relational capital that we had already. What happens if a new elder joins who doesn't have that? How would that etc. So, and would it be that over time you lose capital? So we have to draw the difference between short-term, long-term, etc. But there could be things there. Training events we've done and that sort of thing could actually work online. It's been great. We have quite a significant international ministry. We've had people join us online on Sundays from China and elsewhere in the world, where they don't have, as it were, really helpful, good community church around them there. I have mixed feelings. I want people to get stuck into local church, but I want to help people who don't have good local church. Yeah. And I particularly want to help people who aren't believers yet, who want to continue hearing things. So do we stream things? Do we stream things for the sake of those who find it difficult to come on Sundays, who've actually been there every week when we've been online, but were very sporadic previously? Again, I feel torn. I don't want to make it easy for people to stay at home.
Yeah.
But I do want to serve our church well. Yeah. So there's a few quick thoughts.
That's really helpful, Graham. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you spending your time with us.
Okay.
And all the best, and looking forward to seeing you in the flesh soon.
Great, thank you.
For resources to equip your church to sing the word, particularly during this lockdown period, please visit our website at music-ministry.org. There you'll find numerous resources for your online services, including free training materials for your team in the form of our Dwell Richly course.